Hey, what's up, leaders? Thank you for checking out this video. Wanted to just talk with you about what this upcoming weekend looks like for us in the mix. Every weekend, we've been doing a chapter in the book of James, and this is our final weekend, so it's James chapter 5. And James chapter 5, one of the main points in that chapter is the purpose of prayer. There's power and healing that comes with prayer. So our service this weekend is going to be geared around that principle. And so our service is going to be worship and prayer. It's going to look very different. We're going to do twice as many worship songs and no message. So there will be a lot more time for worship, a lot more time for prayer. One thing I would ask is just make sure you come into the weekend prayed up, ready to go. There will be a moment where you'll be able to pray over your students even more than you normally would with your prayer cards. But I want to just kind of talk you through what each of the prayer moments looks like, and just so you kind of know what the service is going to look like. The first moment is going to be students just praying by themselves, but praying over their family. So praying for their parents, praying for their siblings as well, and just that their relationship would grow with them. If there's any conflict going on, that they would be able to pray over that and just pray that God would bless the relationship with their family members. That's the first prayer. The prayer moments are all going to be 5 minutes long. We're probably going to have a timer up on the screen to help us out and for students to know how long we have and for you to know how long we have left in that moment. And then after each prayer moment, so before our first prayer moment, we're going to do a worship song. After the first prayer moment, we're going to do another worship song. And so there'll be 4 worship songs total, 3 prayer moments. The second prayer moment is going to be praying for students going back to school. This is a moment where students will pair up with another friend, a partner, and one of them will pray over the other for school starting back up. They would do great in their classes, that they would not have people come against them as like a bully or something like that. And then that person would then flip around and then pray for the person who just prayed for them. So be groups of 2, and maybe if there's a couple more, then we might do groups of 3 praying together. But that's what that second moment of prayer will look like. We'll go into another worship song, and then our third moment is really the moment where you're able to pray over your students, and that is praying for their relationship with God to grow. I think what this moment will look like is we're going to have you really just kind of get your students together. So I would find about 4 or 5 students, have them group around you. If you want to move chairs, feel free to do so. But that way you can go around every single student in your group and pray over their relationship with God. If you want to have everybody put the hands on their shoulders, hold hands for the ladies maybe, but that way we can just kind of group up and just praying for each other and our relationship with God, that it would grow. And so that's obviously the most important thing. We want to make sure we spend some time praying for that. So those are the 3 prayer moments. 1 is praying for their relationship with their parents and their siblings. 2, starting school back up. That would go well. And then 3rd, their relationship with God. So again, first one, it will be students just praying by themselves. The second moment will be a student praying with another student. And then last but not least, it'd be you getting your students together and being able to pray individually over each student and saying, I believe that I know that God has a plan for your life, and we're praying over that plan. Things along those lines, but just praying for each student in your group that their relationship with God would grow. One thing I would ask of you is, again, if you could be prayed up coming into this weekend, be ready for it. Be prepared to pray over your students, and to just be thinking, what is that prayer going to look like? What do I want to speak over the students that I'm close to and that I'm friends with? But I know this is going to be an amazing service. There's going to be more of a reverence and an awe that we normally, don't necessarily have all the time. And so we won't be doing fast songs. We'll be doing slower songs for the night. And so if you would just be helping me with setting the example, setting the tone during worship by raising your hands and setting that, and also encouraging other students to do that too. Give them a little bump and say, hey, let's go ahead and raise our hands during this next song. And I know that God's going to do amazing things through this weekend of prayer and worship in this experience. Also, our huddle times are just going to be a little bit different. Normally, we do them at the very, very start of service, our volunteer huddle. Our service this weekend is going to be 5 minutes before service. So for our 10 o'clock service, it would be 9:55. That way, we're able to huddle up for 5 minutes, pray over that service, and just being ready to go, making sure all of us are on the same page with what's going to happen. And then that way, we're able to jump in, because it's going to be a little bit longer service with our moments and the way they're kind of drawn out with more worship songs, more prayer moments. We want to make sure we have enough time for all of our service. As soon as those moments are done for prayer and worship and kind of the large group setting, we're then going to break off like normal to our small group setting, where you're going to have 20 minutes of group time, and so we'll have discussion questions. Those questions are in this training post as well. Then we'll have some prayer time at the very end for you to be able to do prayer cards like you normally would, and so that way if there's something that a student did not get prayer over, that way we're able to make sure they get that prayed over. But I'm really looking forward to this weekend. You have my number. Please shoot me a text if you have any questions about what this looks like, but I'm excited to see you this weekend. Let's do this.